is up, App Nation? It is Steve P. Young, founder of appmasters.com, and happy holidays to you all. I am in a very festive mood, and I've been gone for the last couple of weeks. We visited the team in the Philippines. We had a company retreat, and that was so awesome to see everybody in person. A little bit weird at first, but it was amazing. And that's why I've been off the past couple of weeks, but we wanted to come back right before the holidays to share some amazing content with you. And if you're new to the channel, this is the channel that's going to really dive deep into the weeds of how do you grow your downloads and ultimately your sales. And today I've got a phenomenal guest for you, someone I got intro to from Kevin Rose, and we'll talk about that particular story, but they've been able to really break through the very, very competitive meditation mindfulness space and their unique approach to breaking through. We're going to break that all down right now for you today. So without further ado, let's bring in Jack Shukman. Jack, welcome to the show, my friend.
Steve, great to be here. That video is awesome. I need to get that for every show I do. Love it.
Hey, it's unique to us. I thought it would be fun to have, and it's something I had created just on Canva, by the way, and then I had my team create it for every guest. But I really want to congratulate you on the success of the Way app. It's phenomenal. I'm a user of the app. I'm a big fan of yours too. Let's start. I know a little bit of the background, and Henry, who's I would say the lead meditator of the app and one of 5 or 6 Zen masters in the world.
5, yeah. Okay. In his lineage of Sambo Zen from Japan, yeah.
That's amazing. That's amazing. So what even got you started? Because I've worked with, I told you early on, I was like, we've worked with a lot of meditation apps, and that's the main category that I talk about because everybody wants to release one. What were you seeing in the market? Like, what made you want to build an app like this?
Yeah. It's funny, like a lot of people said, you're trying to launch a meditation app? Like, that's crazy. There's 3,000 of them that already exist, right?
Yeah.
Like one of the most, saturated and competitive spaces in consumer apps. But basically, I should say that Henry, who's also my uncle and co-founder and meditation teacher, we were talking a couple of years ago, and I was a novice meditator. I've been trying a bunch of apps myself and kind of finding just through personal experience. And then we were talking to a bunch of other users as well and kind of doing our research. Like there's a big gap in meditation, like the meditation app space, right? Because you've got millions of people who know about meditation, who have tried meditation or who want to try meditation. Like, Steve, I'm sure you've got a bunch of friends or maybe even yourself, right, at various points. Yes, it's like, man, I know meditation is good for me, but I just can't stick with it. Like, I just can't make it a habit. So there's this like gap between intention and action. And so there was like this limitation in the current space of meditation apps. And so we had this crazy idea that like we could do something different and solve that gap.
Yeah, I like it. And the difference is really, why don't you talk about it, Jack? I mean, it is one singular approach to meditation versus what Jack has called the Netflix. And most people try to do the Netflix of meditation where there's a ton of content. You have no idea which ones to choose, but you just said, hey, here's one path that works for most people. You got to follow this path.
Exactly. Yeah. So there's basically, we just took this big UX gamble actually, because I think like the design paradigm for most apps is, hey, choice is good, right? Give the user more choice. But actually when you're trying to learn something, when you're really trying to like go on like a skills-based learning journey, like is choice that good? And actually, we did, in the kind of the user research we did, the deep user research we did at the start, we interviewed loads of people who basically spend 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 20 minutes scrolling through options in their current meditation app. And it's kind of equivalent to like a little bit of a doom scroll, right? Yeah. You keep scrolling, and the time that you could have spent doing your meditation, you're spent in a sort of decision paralysis mode. So we said, okay, we're just going to strip out all the choice. And you're just going to be presented with one thing you can do, which is the first step. And when you've done that, there's only one thing you can do, which is the second step. And then it's basically like this sequential linear journey that just And when we have that content model, we can then also do another thing, which is we can take someone much deeper, right? Because now you're on a path, you're on a curriculum, you're in a system. And so that's where Henry, as a Zen master, like his depth of teaching and wisdom could really come through. And it's like, hey, this is really trying to replicate what it's like to study every day with a Zen master. Like, what would that journey look like? And then that was like our guiding design principle, basically.
Yeah, I love it. All right, if you're in the audience and joining us live, Martin in India, how's it going? He's in Vietnam right now too. Hey, Jack's in Vietnam. Okay, I don't know if I blew up your cover, Jack, but Jan is here too. Is using timer and times considered keyword duplication? Not necessarily, Jan, and I would test duplicating anyways. So that's just a little ASO hint. And then Rudy, good to see you. And then John, good to see you. If you guys got questions for Jack or myself, please make sure you leave it in the comments. Jack, I really like that Henry shows up as a first video. A friend of mine who has the Miracle Morning app, he has a video too with Hal, who's the author of the Miracle Morning book. Anyways, he has a video and he's like, yeah, having a video, especially when you have somebody that it's somewhat well known in the space, does help with the overall conversions and retention of the app too.
Yeah, and we found, a lot of folks who want to meditate, want to have a practice. They're looking for a teacher, right? Like to build that relationship with someone who is going to reliably train you over the long term. So when we were building this app, we wanted to put Henry really front and center. So yeah, he's in onboarding. You see him a lot. Like it's really, and that kind of makes sense because it's really an expression of his teaching. Like he meditated for 35 years. And everything that he has learned has been distilled and put into this app for the user to experience.
When you said you were doing user research, how long was it? And how did you know that, you get the Steve Jobs quote, if I ask my customers, or the Henry Ford quote, if I ask my customers what they wanted, they would want a faster horse, not a car, right? So how did you know whether to take the feedback as if like it's going to really pay off for you versus not?
Yeah, great question. We just tried to do it super iteratively. So like, step one was, hey, let's just do some interviews. Okay, we got a hypothesis. Step two, we did a diary study where we just did like the rawest possible version where it's like, I'm going to just send someone 10 like unedited sound files in a Google Drive doc, right? And like, can you just do one of these a day for 10 days? How does that, it was like really, really rough prototype. There was no app, there were no screens. And we got feedback from that. And then it was like, okay, next month, we're going to take the learnings from that. And we're going to do like the most bare bones app prototype with a slightly more refined set of audio files. And then just doing it like that. So we got these like very frequent kind of course correcting touch points from like a small group of users. And I guess the other point as well is that we spent a lot of time finding, which was kind of hard actually, finding like a group of who we was predicting to be our core target audience. So it's like we're getting feedback already from people who we're building this app for right from the start.
I like that. How did you know that? Like, how did you guess? Like, what was it? Because I think people, Jack, the response, the reason why I'm asking this is like when I'm working with clients, sometimes they're like, it's for everybody, man. Like it's for everybody. So how did you decide like this would be the perfect audience for us?
Yeah, there was I'm going to forget who said it, or maybe it's like not attributable, but there's like a kind of a classic Silicon Valley startup quote that I really love, which is build something that a few people love rather than a lot of people like. And we really took that to heart. It's like it's better to have a small group of people who like rave about your product and you find product market fit for than you try and build something that like thousands of people are like, yeah, it's kind of okay, So we had and it was a little bit of a hypothesis, but back to that point around, there's existing meditation apps, right? There's big incumbent players that have been around for a long time. Because of that, there's a growing group of people who have been there, done that. Like we call them Headspace graduates. It's like they've used that app, they've got what they can out of it, and they're looking for the next thing. Yeah. And that's who we really built this for. It's like someone who's not just a beginner, but is ready to take their meditation to the next level. And it's like, how do I do that? How do I do that? What do I choose? What's my support structure? And so that was how we found, we would look for those people.
Oh, I like it. You hit on something because I am one of those people. Like did Calm for the longest time. I moved to Peloton because I'm a heavy Peloton user. But the thing I hate about it was like, I don't know which one to pick. Like, honestly, I'm just here to do my 10 minutes a day and get out and be done with it. But it's funny that you said that, because that's what I thought about as someone who started using the app. And I was like, oh, I love this. I don't have to think about it. I just turn it on and I pick the meditation too.
Yeah. You know, one of the inspirations for us as well was Duolingo. Really cool app. Also, like a single path, right? I mean, if you imagine that, it's like they've broken it down. You've got the different content blocks, like a really clear information hierarchy. And when you load it up, it's like, okay, I'm learning Spanish, I'm learning French, and whatever it is. And it's just like takes you on a path. And yeah, we wanted to kind of be, we wanted to be the Duolingo for meditation.
I love it. Was this hard, Jack, to be like, nope, you got to finish the first one before you can get to the second one?
Man, it was tough. Yeah. Man, we had to make a lot of trade-offs to stick true to that, you know, that principle of like, there's no choice. And because, you know, you get different, there are lots of different, even for the like the target demographic we're trying to serve, there's different user archetypes, right? Some people have more experience, less experience. They want to get different things out of it. So they might see content on day 30 and they're like, oh, well, give me that content now, you know? And it's like, no, you've got to go through days 1 to 29 to get there. So we stood firm, and, you know, we built in messaging in onboarding in the early content to explain like why we've done this, and to encourage users to trust into this, very different content model and UX journey.
Look, I know the numbers that and how well you've done. So congratulations on it. One thing that I hope the audience realizes too is there's no real path to success. You can see on the Way app, there's been no paywall. Jack made it a point to be like, you open the app, you see Henry, he talks a little bit, and then you go straight into the journey and the way. And so I really like that, Jack. I don't know. Talk to me about that approach. Like, because all the best practices say, and you know this now, you know this too, but you made this concentrated effort to be like, nope, we're going to try to get you on this journey first, make you love our app, and then get you to potentially pay us.
Yeah, it's such an interesting question, right? I really believe in minimizing time to value for the user. So it's like, what's the shortest way in terms of time, in terms of number of taps, like getting someone to feeling like, like some kind of feeling. In our case, it's a meditation app, so like feeling good, feeling some calm, feeling some peace, feeling like they've learned something. But of course, for other apps, it can be whatever the value is. But how do you minimize that time? And yeah, for me, like throwing up a paywall before you've given someone that experience, I'm sure that can work in some context. But for us, we're like, hey, we want to give you a really good chance to experience, you know, a few sessions and this path, to say, hey, this is for me, this is not for me. And then there's the invitation to go past that and through the paywall.
To the audience, promise I'm going to get to Jack's growth strategy and how he's able to grow pretty much organically so far. But Jack, I want to stick on the product. One more thing. So there's meditations where you sit, and there's ones where talk. And Henry will talk to you about what's the way, right? Here's what I really love. This is what I told you pre-interview, the feature I love. Okay. So this is the talk. He's going to just explain what is the way. And I'm going to hit play on this. Here's the feature I really love. I could actually 1.5 this part, because I was like, okay, this is just him talking about it. Like, I'm not here to potentially meditate. I'm just here to learn from Henry about what this is. And I love that you added this feature. And Jack, I did look to see if meditations had for me to speed up. And you're like, no, just for the talk, you can speed that up.
Yeah, that's right. I wonder if Steve, I'll be keen to hear, is 1.5 enough? Like, do you want a 1.75? Do you want a 2x?
1.5 is enough, but you have it at 1.25, but 1.5 is definitely enough, because certain people I'll listen on 1.5, certain people I'll go 1.8. I used to do 2, but I'm like getting older and my ears aren't as strong anymore. So I got 1.2 is too fast now.
Yeah. But yeah, definitely. Like, I think it's super important for us to give the user that background, that theory. It's like we're really trying to help someone learn and like deepen their practice. So, you know, it can't all just be, hey, here's a meditation. Like, we need the theory as well. But of course, we recognize that people are coming to the app primarily to meditate. So it's like we want to be give that context, but not like, but give some optionality around it as well. So it's like, you've got to sit through it, but you can speed up a little bit.
Yeah, I love it. And Mateo says, look, I love the UX, easy, simple, and looks amazing. He's got a question. Thanks for sharing, Jack. Here's a question. If the way is tailored to people who are getting started or used to meditating, how do you go about keeping people for a long time? Well,
Yeah, that's a really great question. At the moment, it's one path. So it's essentially like one size fits all. So what we did was, in the content, we spent a lot of time pitching that content just right, so that it's possible for a beginner who's totally new to kind of enjoy it and to learn, but it's also got stuff in there for more advanced meditators. Now, I will say that was like our first, like what we launched with, but our plan that we're gonna get to in 2025 is to actually have, based on a couple of questions that you could fill out in onboarding, your level of experience, basically cater to a total beginner in a slightly different way. It will still be a single path, but there'll be a little bit more introductory content, a slightly different onboarding UX, just to help someone who's a beginner kind of ease into it before we start hitting them with the more advanced stuff. But yeah, great question.
I love that approach, Jack. I mean, you said it best. Build something that few people will love, but not everyone will like. I forgot the exact quote, but
yeah,
you can always expand, but you started with the people that will love this product, and then slowly, as you get traction and you make headway, or you get traction in some product market fit, then you can always expand to the other people later on. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. It's like the concentric circles approach.
Yeah. Mateo likes your answer. Okay. Let's talk about, well, I want to say hi. What's up, Miguel? Good to see you. And then, since we're getting into the growth side of things, Steve, how is TikTok ads? Is it effective on app downloads, or is ASA better? Jack, you have any thoughts on this, since you're the guest?
Man, I would love to have I don't know. This is TikTok ads is uncharted territory for us. So I defer to you on that one, Steve.
Okay. It really depends. Honestly, we have seen that sometimes it depends on, here's what I would say, Nurex. I look at the volume, right? Because I've heard it all. TikTok organic, TikTok ads, Meta, ASA, just ASO. People have found tremendous success doing just ASO and ASA. And so it really depends on the nature of your app. ASA is a higher converting channel in terms of, but it can also be limited in the amount of scale that you can get. And it could also get expensive, because we're all fighting for that one spot. So if there's volume, people are searching for your type of app, like meditation and mindfulness, ASA would be a good platform. But for one of our other clients, TikTok was way more effective than Meta or ASA, because there's not a lot of search volume. So we had to push and target the right audience for us, and TikTok became a better channel for us, given our audience that we're targeting. So that's how I would answer it. It always depends. Okay. Jack, what I also want to talk to you about is sort of your growth. Now that you've talked to your users, did that Google Doc, which I love these type of stories, by the way. Nothing jazzes me up than hearing those type of stories. What was your approach to launching this app and getting that early traction you needed?
Yeah. So, I mean, I would say that first and foremost, we were 100% focused on the product. It's like we knew growth was important, but we just wanted to give ourselves enough time to make sure that the product was like as good as it could be. I mean, that we had product market fit, basically.
Right.
So, we launched like, it was really an MVP approach, right? Like, we're going to launch enough content and enough path with enough of a smooth UX to really test the hypothesis of like, is this single path going to work? And then we're going to iterate as fast as possible. So there were loads of features that, early users were like, oh man, I want to be able to download sessions for offline. I want to be able to bookmark sessions. Like, we didn't have any of those features. So we had to like work really quickly to then to add all those and kind of fill in the gaps. And so I just want to say, like, I think, like, I really believe in the philosophy that like growth starts with a really good product, and that has to be like the first thing you tackle. That said, once we felt like after 3 or 4 months in the market, and we were getting really, really strong feedback and really strong engagement and retention, we started to think more around growth. But for us, also, we wanted to lean as much as possible into organic. So that meant 2 big strategies for us early on. The first was what can we do on word of mouth, and the second was what we can do on earned media. And on the word of mouth side, we kind of realized that with meditation apps, like the fact that the kind of the space we're in, people can have really deeply positive experiences, right? Like they can, we've had people emailing us saying that meditating with the way has helped them recover through drug addiction. It's helped them deal with like family members passing on. There's people who've been trying to meditate on and off for like 10 years, 20 years, and they haven't managed to do it. And then they've tried the way, and man, they can finally have a practice. So like these experiences can be really positively transformative for someone. And that makes people want to share it, right? That's like a really strong intrinsic motivation to bring that into the lives of your friends and family. So we started to realize that, oh, wow, we have a group of users who are really strongly motivated to help share this. So then, we're like, okay, well, what can we do to help facilitate that? Because at the start, it was just like they could tell their friend about it, and then the friend had to go and download it themselves. And it was like, there's no like smooth facilitation there. So what we did was, okay, like how can we make that as smooth as possible? So you can share the app itself. Right. You can share all the content in the app. That was a really big one. So you see at the end of every session, there's a button that pops up that says share this. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And so if you're like doing a meditation, you're like, oh man, my buddy, Steve would really love this one. A couple of taps, you can send it to them. And then they can access that for free. And that's been huge. Like that's been a really big driver of shares. We also added a referral bonus, so that if you share the app with someone, they get some extra free sessions, so that their paywall gets kicked back, basically. And there's like, when you complete certain parts of the pathway, there are graphics that pop up that you can share as well to social media. Right. And we even actually added this feature that where you can gift an entire subscription to a friend. So what that means is that you can actually just like buy a whole 3-month or 12-month subscription for someone. And folks are doing that. So they want to share, not just share the app, but actually like share the app and pay for it for someone. So all of that basically Jack? Was what
Where
we did to,
I mean,
so if you just go top right button on that screen, take you to the account.
Oh, okay.
And then you see where it says, share a subscription, gift a subscription.
Wow. And people just gift it, huh?
People gift it. Yeah. Of course, amazing. Around the holidays, that was a really big thing as well. But yeah, that's been a really nice way of seeing the community kind of grow.
That's amazing. All right. And can I ask you more about this? Like, okay, let's say I pick everything. Whoops. I want to take screenshots because I think it's really cool. Mm-hmm. I'm going to click this, and then I type in, and do I pay through Apple, or how are you doing this? Just
this is just it's an in-app purchase. So if you fill out the details of the person you want to receive the gift, you fill out your details as well, so they know who it's coming from. They're going to get sent a beautifully branded email that says, "Hey, Steve has bought a gift for you," and then you just check out with in-app purchase. So it's like super low touch.
Let me see.
Don't have to do any other credit card stuff.
Wow, that's amazing. And how am I able to redeem it? You just know?
Yeah. So as the receiver, you're gonna, there we go. See, so it's just like you check out.
Oh, and it's a one-time charge too. So I only pay for the 1 year, and as a receiver, I only get the 1 year for free.
Exactly. Yeah.
Nice. I love that.
The receiver just gets sent an email that's saying, "Hey, Steve's bought you this beautiful gift," and there's a deep link, and they can activate it. They set up an account, and then it's free. It's free from there.
What are you using for the deep link?
We use Branch.
Nice.
Yeah. Pretty robust.
John says gifting is an awesome idea. I loved it. And I know my team is on Choose writing notes. Like, we love this idea. Like, we're covering this on up. I love it. Okay, Adam just came in. What's up, Adam? Jack, did you use any services to track friend referrals, or did you build a referral system yourself?
Yeah, we use Branch as well, which was pretty plug and play. We got it up up and running within a week, and then that lets us track friend referrals through their deep link system. Yeah.
Yeah, I love it. Our mobile says, Jack, do you meditate?
Yeah, I do. I love working on a product that I kind of built partly for me, really for me. Like I was user number one. So yeah, we do I meditate, I use the app, and we do we do team meditations. Every team meeting with
Oh,
the
nice.
team, we do the first 5 minutes is meditating.
Yeah.
It's the ultimate dog fooding, right? You got to use your own product.
Well, if you read the article, Jack wasn't always a meditator until, he's like, hey, my boring, I'm going to quote you, Jack. Oh, this guy that I thought was just a boring uncle turned out to be a pretty cool dude.
Yeah.
So to speak, on TechCrunch. It is on TechCrunch.
For sure. No, it's true.
Yeah.
Like I definitely thought for most of my life that meditation was just like a waste of time. I just didn't understand why anyone would do that. Like it's just 10 minutes out of your day you're losing, right? And I'm kind of embarrassed to admit that now, but that's what I thought. And then 2.5 years ago, all changed, and I realized how good meditation can be for someone.
Yeah. The earned media side of things, let me just hit on that a little bit. Was it like an agency, or did you guys just go out and try to earn that media and reach out to various publications?
Yeah, we it was I would say it was a mix of like grind and luck. We basically turned into like we set up a really serious, robust like CRM style sales process basically. So we made a list of 150 target podcasts that we did like deep research on for like the engagement they had, the space they were in, the listenership that they had. There's some really good platforms out there that let you see this kind of data for different podcasts, and Podchaser was one that we loved. And so we built like, okay, here's 150 target dream list of podcasts in health, wellness, spirituality, meditation, like those kinds of arenas. And then we just went through it one by one. Do we have any warm leads? Do we have are there email addresses online we can find? Again, some of these platforms have like production teams or like other affiliates that they're involved with have their email addresses listed, so you can reach out to them. And we just went through it, and we were a bit lucky because Henry had already some exposure and some following, so had a bunch of connections in the podcast world, which was a helpful head start. And then we also we were really I would say we were really on it. Like every time we had a new connection, we like offered the podcast host the app for free. We offered their team the app for free. We gave them the kind of the story around it. And I would say it helps that Henry is like a great guest as well. He's got a great voice. He's a Zen master. He's a cool dude. So there's like it's always like a rich conversation for the host. But we managed to land like 40 plus podcasts in total. So it was a real tour. And then every time it's like, okay, how can we mention the app? Can we link to it in the show notes? All that good stuff. And I think that there was one other element as well, which I don't know if this is going to be like a replicable growth hack, but it definitely helped us. And that is that Henry had a book come out around that time. So this is like in the summer. So we've been live for like 3-4 months. We were really gearing up with the podcasts. And he had a book come out that was really like a very complimentary piece to the app. It's called Original Love. And it's like the same teaching philosophy that you find in the app, but just in book format. And so that was a really nice, having a book out is a really nice in for a bunch of podcasts, right? It's like you can talk about the book, you can talk about the app. So that was like a help as well.
Yeah, I love it. I think it speaks volumes to just sort of thinking about the app space as just one of, Vaughn says, what's your distribution channel? It's been pretty much this, right? Earned media, I would say. And has it just been podcasts, or have you I know you were featured on TechCrunch, but have you tried to do any type of like press too, just typical blogs and stuff? And
we did, like, we reached out to we did a full search of like all the journalists who had written, top 10 meditation apps 2023, or, here's what Forbes thinks you should be using in January 2024. And we reached out to a bunch of journalists and writers and bloggers, and we didn't have a whole lot of success, honestly. Like, it was without a warm lead, we found that quite challenging. With the TechCrunch, we did have a warm lead, and so it happened kind of quickly. So that was awesome. So I think, that space, if you're kind of going cold, we found that pretty challenging.
Well, that's amazing that it's just primarily, I love hearing that, because then I can safely say, like, you've been able to achieve all that you've been achieved primarily through podcasts, like different huge podcasts. I mean, Tim Ferriss, Kevin Rose, those are some really legit podcasts that you've been on too.
Yeah, definitely. And it's interesting, the podcast, right? Because some shows you see a bump within 24 hours. And then some shows you don't see a bump for a long time. But then like 3 months after it's gone live, you'll get an email from a user. It's like, hey, I heard you guys on this random podcast from 3 months ago, and I downloaded the app and I love it. It's like, what? So I don't know, like, I guess there's like so much podcast content now. People develop these like backlogs, it's like you save all these episodes you're going to listen to and you kind of get to them later. So podcast is also a little bit fickle. It's not like one drops and then bang, immediately you can bank a bunch of extra users the next day. But definitely for exposure, it's a wonderful it's a wonderful strategy. Definitely recommend.
Podchaser, that was the tool. All right. Yeah. We got some questions from the audience. You ready? Have you played around with UGC content?
Yeah, great question. The answer is no, but hopefully soon that's going to change. Definitely love the strategy, and I think
the perfect UGC. I mean, come on. I mean, Henry, I love this too. You're like, give yourself 10 minutes. You can listen to 10 minutes right now if you want it on the website. I love that feature too. Can you guys hear that? Can you hear that, Jack?
I can't hear that.
Okay, sorry. All right.
They're missing out on Henry's voice, but
let me try to see if I can do it. I can do it. Well, here, I'll give you another question. Yvonne says, what do you think about TikTok organic content? Is this something you're planning to do?
Yeah, 100%. I like TikTok is, I think, an incredible platform. You can gain a lot of exposure very quickly. And I think also what's exciting there is, like, with, you don't have to go to like the biggest influencers. Like, with a really good micro influencer strategy, you can actually, I think you can really move the needle. So this is definitely something that we're interested in exploring in 2025 for sure.
I read a great book. I have it right here. I listened to it. Okay, so I cheated, but it's 12 Months to $1 Million by Ryan Moran, and he talked about micro influencers. And a lot of the book, I was like, oh, this is what I did. Cool. And then the part of the influencer stuff was just look for 10 to 50,000. And so we're trying that for a few of our clients too. And I've heard Yvonne from other clients that I've known. They're just like, they've done organic TikTok, and that's how they've been able to really grow to really 6 figures a month just through organic TikTok. Now, I know nothing about this. I think I've aged myself out of it, but that's what I've heard from 2 different people in 2 different industries that probably don't know each other too. All right, Jack, I got it. Here you go. Here's your.
Hi. So in this session, we're going to explore an old Zen practice known as just sitting, simply sitting. A friend of mine spent time in a monastery in the far west of Japan, and the monks would get up in the early morning before dawn, and she would join them in the zendo when it was
really good. I wish I had that voice.
People feeling a little bit calmer. I hope so.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. All right. Captain Michael says, do you normally play the influencers or affiliate partners up front for your app exposure, or do you have any revenue sharing partnerships?
Yeah, this is a great question. I think the answer is going to be both. Right. I think both models can work. I do love the idea of like in any partnership, right? Not just when we're talking about influencers, but like aligned incentives. I think that's really, really important. It's like we both do well, or we both don't do well together. And so for me, like, the revenue sharing model is a great way to do that. But yeah, of course, I think both can work for sure.
Michael, I did a podcast episode. If you do influencer marketing or affiliate marketing for indie devs on YouTube, you'll find the video and the podcast. But this guy talked about, he has a marriage app, and he, like you, Jack, he went out to podcasters, and podcasters, because I've been doing this since 2013, the podcast, there's no revenue model, right? Unless you get ads, but like only the biggest podcasts make money from ads. And so for the smaller ones, they're looking for a revenue model, and that's where affiliates. So that's what he did. Every podcast they were on, they had an affiliate model, and they would be like, look, if you can send these users, we'll split the income. And he's a developer, so he built the affiliate system himself. But it's a great episode, especially for you indies out there. I think with the influencers, generally paid up front, that's what they prefer to have versus a rev share, unless maybe you're talking to a micro influencers. But the bigger influencers that we work with, they just generally want money up front versus a rev share. All right, Mateo thought it was Liam Neeson for a second, and then Michael loved the voice. Well, all right, I like it. Let's see, what else? What else am I missing, Jack, that you want to make sure we talk about?
Yeah, I think that was like the interesting thing about on the growth side, right, is that we're basically like 100% organic till now, and I do think that there's still loads more that we can do, and for any app that is very content heavy, like we create so much audio, video, like graphics. There's a lot of like raw material there for earned media. And so one thing that we haven't really tackled, but I'm really excited about for 2025, is like, how can we create earned media that can be shared, like that's valuable, that folks will want to share, whether that's like free meditations that can go on YouTube, whether that's stuff that can go on Instagram, like quotes, wisdom people want to share, people want to save. I think that's also something that's really interesting and can be a really like powerful free, right, growth strategy.
I love it. And one of our clients, really huge app, they got 5 million monthly active users, past client of ours, but there's been a lot of sharing in this app too. And so just like you, Jack, they were like not so concerned about monetization, because once they can get people using the app and doing stuff within the app, they know there's that virality component, and that's going to lead to more organic word of mouth growth. But what they did see was they never had the paywall during the onboarding experience, Jack. They added it. Their end goal, Jack, was higher retention. They added the paywall to the onboarding. They saw an increase in sales, obviously, but an increase in retention as well. So that is it was interesting. And they've 5 million monthly active users. So I'm like, okay, and that's a pretty sick.
Did they figure out like why, what that was, like what's going on there, that the paywall increases retention? It's like, is it the part of like, it's like a commitment, you commit as a user, so you're going to use the app more? Or?
Yeah, that's what we think too, right? And funny enough, I have a community of app entrepreneurs as well, and we had a meeting earlier today, and somebody in our community, he tested out a couple of different things where he had people try to engage with the app first and then show them a paywall. And then not just you have way more engagement. He just did one little thing, right? And then versus just directly showing the paywall and not having them do anything. And he saw the one that just directly showing the paywall won, which was surprising because we all guessed the other one would win because they were more inclined. So something to play around with. That's why when people ask me questions, I'm like, I've heard it all, dude. You're just going to have to figure it out. But here's the general best practices that has worked too. So find the path, find the way that works for you. VP says, Steve, I love your show. I have an app that's about to launch in a month or two, and I've implemented some of your tactics and looking forward to reaching out to you and your team. Sounds good. Thanks for being here. And Nurex says, Steve, dad jokes time. So Jack, here we go. Let's get into the app audit segment. And then we like to start off every app audit with some dad jokes. All right, Jack, I forgot to ask you before the interview. You had some dad jokes ready to go.
Man, I got some dad jokes. I got some game.
I'm going to assume that my team warned you. All right. You want to go to first, or you want to go second? You're the guest. I'll let you decide.
I'll let you lead.
Okay.
I'll let you lead. I'll return fire.
Let me make sure the buttons work. Okay. It's been a couple of weeks since I've done this. All right, here we go. I got more Christmas theme. I thought meditation theme jokes, but then I was like, these weren't really good. And so I went with Christmas theme jokes. All right, Jack, Why does Santa go to music school?
Why?
To improve his rapping skills. There you go. All right, Jack, what do you got?
All right, Steve, I ordered a chicken and an egg from Amazon.
Really?
I'll let you know.
All right, that's a good one. I like that one. Put J if you thought Jack's joke was better. Put S in the comments if you thought my joke was better. And then Sanchu is we're gonna reward. You have to vote. I think what we did last time was rewarded somebody that won. Okay, just vote and then we'll pick a random winner and then you'll get a free promotion through Indie App Center. So I want the votes. All right. And then Sanchu, what a traitor. He voted for you. He's a part of my team and he's voting for you. What a traitor, Sanchu. There you. All right, thank you, John. All right, let's get into the app audit side of it. And I want to thank our sponsors for this app audit. Look, if you're looking for, actually, let's go into it. It's long enough. All right, thank you to ASO Mobile. If you're looking for an affordable ASO solution, check out ASO Mobile. I think there's some discounts that's still going on. AppMasters40, try out that discount code. You should get 40% off any of their plans. AppMasters40 should get you that. So thank you to ASOmobile.net to check them out. And they're a Ukrainian company. So if you want to support a Ukrainian company, it's a great way to do that as well. All right. And if you want your app audited in a future live stream, well, that's easy. Just go to appmasters.com/audit. And we'll take a look at Rares' app. All right, Jack, here it is. Whoops, let me add this to the stage. It is a journal app. So we just do them in order, guys. We're not picking out specific ones. I used to do that. It was too much trouble. I just go in order. So first come, first serve. Anything on the App Store front, Jack, that you want to give feedback to Rares about?
I really like the call outs on the screens. Like I can eyeball that and really see like the value proposition, what I get out of the app. I wonder if you've got 4 there, and if you could use one of them for like a bit more of the benefit the user gets, like not just the functionality, but like what that gives you, or maybe a testimonial, because it's like you've got space for 4. You could use one of them for like a bit of social proof or some other element to make me want to download.
Yeah, I like that. Anything else?
I
You're
guess
a star, Jack. So I'm just trying to.
You know what? I'm just saying,
way.
like, it's an awesome rating, but there's only 7. And depending on how many users, it's like some way of bumping that up. If you've even got like a couple of 100 users, an email going out to them saying, hey, if you're loving it, would really appreciate a rating. I think like getting that number up from 7 to double digits would really just help. When I eyeball that, it's like, okay, yeah, this is a really well-reviewed app that's it's part of that social proof, right?
Yeah, I like it. And I kind of wanted to check out what you guys had on yours. And I agree. I think too many developers kind of lean into the features versus the actual benefit. So like deepen your meditation journey. Obviously you have meditation in there. You want to match that with the first screenshot. And then you want to talk about the benefits. And I like that your social proof is like, hey, this is a Zen master. And obviously you have more social proof with being on Tim Ferriss, Cameron Rose, and TechCrunch and all that stuff. But Jack practiced what he preaches. Jack, I looked before. I was like, is Jack practicing what he's preaching? But he is. And so I wanted to pull that up too. Here. Cool. I like it. All right. Let me get into the app itself because I got some ideas for you, Rares, on how you can growth hack what Jack said to get to more than 7 ratings. I do think it's important. It's going to be part of the entire ecosystem of your growth. All right. Let's get into the app. Wow. It's cute. I love these little animations, Jack. Like, I think it adds so much more to the app. Like I was talking to another client of ours and I was like, dude, I love this animation. Like, it just makes me feel good the first time I see it. Like, I think this app is going to be good.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
All right, this is great, Rares.
I love that color change. That's really nicely done.
Oh, okay. The status symbol is at the right next to the next button. So what is your emotional state? I'm pretty happy, actually. Thanks to Henry. Okay, not to you, Jack. Thanks to Henry. I'm pretty happy.
Okay, that's how it should be.
Journaling's a regular habit.
Man, I really like that dial in the bottom right that's like populating as you do it, just so that you know that it's not like a huge form you've got to wade through.
Yeah, me too. I'm gonna take a screenshot. All right. What are the areas you like to focus on? Maybe relationship, spiritual growth. Sure. Bullets. Probably 1 to 5. I might just make this. Oh, okay. That's cool. All right. You're all set. Oh. So
I
it
also
does
like
work.
that notifications in the onboarding flow. That's great.
Notification, and if you notice, you get the review prompt. I like this too. So now all you need, Rares, is more downloads. Okay, here's where it gets interesting. So nobody wants to start a premium, right? Like you say, start premium now. So what we found, Jack, is continue tends to work better than any other call to action on the paywall. Anything you want to mention on the paywall too?
You know, I love like having tick value proposition, but 6, it's probably a few too many, right? A little bit too much copy. It's hard to like eyeball that. So I don't know if I know it's tough. Like we've been playing around with this as well, but getting that down to 3, max 4, just helps someone like, just digest that quickly.
And look, I think you can go up to $20 a year. I think what you can also do, Rares, is give a trial. We have seen that having a trial increases conversions too. You just got to pay attention to your trial to paid metric as well. What you can also do is just put the trial only on the annual. That's it. And we've seen good results doing that. And everything else looks really good.
I love having that testimonial as well, like the 5-star review there. That's really nice. Probably the margin maybe a tiny bit long as well, but I think it's great positioning.
Yeah. So I'll just, Rares, you have a lifetime offer that I saw on your App Store page. What our best growth hack in the world to get to 100 ratings, try to hopefully get product market fit, to get some early users and feedback from those early users. What you do is this lifetime offer that you have hidden somewhere in your paywall, you put it on your paywall, you make it for free. You tell a website called App Advice that you're making your lifetime offer. Jack up your lifetime offer. It shouldn't be $20. It should be probably $50, $100 in there. Tell them you're going to make it for free because it's going to be a non-consumable in-app purchase. You can do that within App Store Connect. Make it free for just 2 days. Tell App Advice about it, and then that should get you tens of thousands of downloads, which, since you're asking for your review on the onboarding experience and you built a really great app, it should help you get to close to 100 ratings and kick in your ASO as well. And the cool thing is you get some great user feedback. And I've gotten some user feedback from people running this campaign on my own apps, even AI apps where I know there's an inherent cost. I've given away a lifetime offer for free just to get those early users and early user feedback. And the good thing is, if nothing else hits, you will definitely get more ratings. But don't tell Apple. Don't share this with Apple, because when you're asking the ratings on the onboarding experience, Jack, since I've shared this strategy, it's not, sometimes it gets deleted for some strange reason with Apple.
Right.
So I'm trying to keep certain things more secretive than just exposing it. All right, Jack, it was pretty close. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then I got 1, 2, 3, 4. Hisanchu, your vote was the tiebreaker. I'm going to blame you for Jack winning. So we're going to play for a pint, Jack. Maybe, I don't know if you drink. I don't really drink that much, but I'll have a pint with you. How about that? Or coffee.
We'll play for a pint. That sounds fair.
There you go.
I like that.
All right. Round 2, my friend. You want to go first, or you want me to go first?
Who went first last time?
I did.
I'll go first this time.
It was a better joke, by the way. Romain, he voted. Yes.
How does a man on the moon cut his hair?
How, Jack?
He clips it.
I like that. Okay. And this is going to be tough. All right. I got to go ahead and go one now. That's a good one. All right. I think I've already lost this. Okay. I'm going to give you my best shot. Jack, what do elves learn in school?
Man, I feel like I can get this one. Okay. Yeah, what do they learn in school?
Jack, it's not part of the rules. You're not supposed to land my joke. Okay. Let me land the joke. Just say what. Okay.
What?
Okay. Thank you. Elves learn the alphabet. There you go. All right. That was round 2. All right. Thanks for all the votes, but we're going to close that and then we'll go into the next round. So put J, if you thought Jack's joke was better, which I would vote Jack, and then put S, and then I'll owe Jack a pint of beer next time we see each other in person. Any plans to come to the States, Jack?
Yeah, for sure. We
Okay.
I come pretty regularly. So
Okay. Only to
yeah,
LA, or do you go to the Bay Area?
LA and Bay Area, and
Okay.
Santa Fe, New Mexico, which is where Henry's based. So those are like the
Oh, no
three
way.
hotspots. Yeah,
Nice, dude. That's awesome. Very zen-like. Santa
very
Fe.
zen like.
Yeah.
Yeah, Santa Fe is it's a beautiful spot. Yeah.
Yeah. I like it. Cool. I actually went to a temple, like a Buddhist temple, to meditate for an hour. This was a few years ago, but I was going through some things and I just wanted to relax. And it was a pretty interesting experience just meditating with people for a whole hour. They had different
Mm,
chants. And so, yeah, when you said like we're there, we wanted to Headspace graduates, I was like, yeah, that's me. And I love
yeah,
the way you put it
nice,
in.
nice, nice, nice.
Yeah.
Was that and that was in Santa Fe, or that was somewhere else? Sorry, that
No, it was
where you
just in the
went.
Bay Area. It's
Very right.
like,
Okay.
yeah, yeah. I just found
Sweet.
some temple and yeah, I just went there. It was for free. Some donations if you want to do it, but yeah. All right, let's get into the next app, Tim's app. All right, you guys, we got some votes coming in. Now, Top Cat, I see your comment in there and I'll get to it, but let's get to Tim's app real quick. It's a coaching app. So here you go, Jack. I'll let you lead.
Yeah, this was really cool. I'm looking forward to like tennis being included, because I'm a tennis player, and I'm kind of like doing this just with like my camera on my iPhone, right? And then like looking at it. And so I think this is a really cool idea. Um I yeah, I didn't have like a bunch of comments. Like I think this on the landing on the store listing page. Like I thought it looked pretty good, like showing off all the key functionality of the app. Um you get I like the elevate your coaching experience. That's like a nice tagline. And yeah, I thought it was pretty clean.
Okay. And Tim wants help on onboarding paywall. So looking to increase revenue and stay competitive in the market. So Tim, I'm going to assume you got pretty decent download ratings. So maybe you're getting good amount of ratings too. As someone who coaches my sons and daughters football, a bunch of their sports, I love anything that helps with the coaching experience. So let's get into the onboarding and paywall stuff to help Tim here with his app. All right. Welcome to the tool for video analysis. So yeah, I love it. Oh, I love it. Compare your videos. You might want to work on the spacing, Tim. The UI UX. Whoa, this is messy.
Yeah, I had a couple of comments on this one, because this is thrown up right away on the onboarding, right? So
Yeah.
I think just that what we were talking about earlier, Steve, about how letting the user experience some value before showing the paywall is one option. And then, but if you're not doing that and the paywall's coming right up, I think there's like a lot of copy to try and absorb here, right? It's like, am I looking at the USPs listed with the ticks, all the testimonials, all the reviews, all the ratings, all the different options below? It's like kind of a lot to try and eyeball for the user. Like they're making the user to do quite a lot of work to like process this page.
Yeah. We have some data points that having a video does work better sometimes for certain categories. And Tim, what I would think about is, the onboarding, maybe ask like, what sports do you coach? How many teams do you coach? Because obviously the more teams or the more sports I coach in, the more value I'm going to get from this app. And then you have this bronze, silver, gold. You can start tailoring some of these plans based off some of the answers, kind of like what Jack said with his new onboarding that they're working on. They can tailor the meditation path based on the questions you're going to ask. And I would maybe even just try a video that shows off the app versus trying to explain it. And we have seen that for certain categories of apps, having a video on the paywall converts better than just normal text like this too. So I'll get through that. All right, let's get into this.
I think just one other comment on the paywall is like,
yeah,
I think it's great. I think it's great to have tiers, and I think if that's done well, that can be, you can nudge folks towards certain tiers based on the feature set you include there. But that bronze, silver, gold, the differentiation between tiers was based mostly on like how much cloud storage you got, like 10, 25 unlimited. And it's just at this stage in my onboarding, I don't have a reference point for like how much I'm going to use. Like, is 10 enough, 25 enough? So like the nudge to get me to the higher tier is having to be done without any context. You know what I mean? So it's like, if we're going to have the paywall here, then you got to help me contextualize like why I need the 25. You know, it's like put that in the terms. It's like obvious, like, oh my God, I've got to upgrade because it's just a slam dunk for me.
Yeah, I agree with you. And I almost prefer a simplified pricing. And then as they use the app, then you try to upsell them. Right. And then, so I would probably just try to sell this because I have 10 gigs seems like plenty for me. And just try to sell this before and then they're like, oh, hey, you're a power user now. Do you want to upgrade to more storage? So let me hit that storage and get me to upgrade. But yeah, completely agree with you. And the last thing I'll add, Jack, is Tim, you should add a way for me to upgrade on this. I mean, I know you're probably waiting for me to do a cap, but there are some people who just love the app and want to pay you. Don't make them find the upgrade button. Just put it big. Like you have import right here and import right here. You can just change this upper column import to a crown or, upgrade to pro features or unlock more space, whatever, right? Whatever the benefit is, you can just change that button because you have 2 imports here and there. But for an app like this, like Jack, I think even, we've seen certain types of niche apps do better with hard paywalls, which is essentially you can't X out of it. You either pay or get the hell out of my app. Hey, he's here. Timothy, good to see you, Tim. I'm glad you made it. Jack, I've got some good news and bad news. The good news is we're almost done. Okay. The bad news is you lost, my friend. We have to go to the round 2.
Oh my God!
I didn't think that I would win, but thank you.
What was the score? I didn't see
It was like 4 or 5 to 1.
Man, I bombed.
Yeah, sorry, bro. So, all right, mate, let's go. One more.
Oh man, this is my.
I'll go first
weakest.
this time.
This is my weakest. Okay, after you.
All right, here we go. Jack, remember, you just say what, okay? Jack, what do you call an obnoxious reindeer? What do you call an obnoxious reindeer?
What?
Rude off. Okay. I don't know if that was a good delivery.
That's abysmal. Okay. Steve, what is Forrest Gump's password?
What, Jack?
1 Forrest 1.
I like that. All right. See, Jack, I knew the answer. I did not step on your joke. That's how you do it. All right, Yvonne, you was just so quick on the trigger to do that. All right. Sanchi, do we have a winner? Were you able to pick a winner? Tomcat says, hey, Steve, I did a free month in December on Indie App Santa and doing a lifetime membership for January. Thanks. Oh, let me know how it goes. For those who are not familiar with Indie App Santa, we are like an AppSumo or Groupon for apps. And we acquired this business earlier this year. Well, just really a couple of months ago, and it's done really well. And that's why we're giving away free promos too. All right, Marco. Marco already has some. All right, Marco, you're the winner. Reach out to us. We'll set you up with a free campaign on Indie App Santa. He's already run a campaign too. Thank you, Sanchu, for taking it over. And I think that's it. Jack, anything I missed that you want to make sure we cover before we say goodbye?
No, that was awesome. It was really fun chatting, Steve.
Same.
Thanks for giving me a go at the dad joke game.
Oh wait, who won? Okay, it looks like you won. So I did. You redeemed yourself, my friend.
And man,
the audience is too kind on that one. Yeah. So there you go. All right, hit the like button. Thank you, John. Thank you. Do the promo, John. Tell them what else to do besides hit the like button. All right, tell them what to do. All right, Marco says thank you. All right, the app is called The Way. Go check it out. It is a phenomenally well done app. I love all the meditations. We played Henry's voice so you can get a sense of the type of meditation, the calmness that you're going to get through Henry's voice. I just love that you don't have to pick. You just go through the path, and the meditations are freaking awesome. And if you're just trying to learn about it and the talks, you can speed that up. If you're crazy like me, you can speed that up. But the meditations, you're going to have to sit through. Great, great app. Jack, congrats on all the success so far. Can't wait to see you what else you're going to do in the future, because you've done a great job so far. But once again, it is The Way on Google Play and the App Store as well. Go check it out. And Jack's not going to bother you to pay. You got to love the app, and then he'll eventually ask you to pay later on. He really wants you to love the app. All right. Jack,
Thanks,
anywhere
Steve.
else you want to send a user?
No, that's all good. Yeah. Thewayapp.com.
Awesome.
And yeah, Steve, thanks so much. It was really fun.
Yeah. All right, guys. I think I might be back. I might do a surprise show in between the holiday break, but we're definitely back January 10th. And we've got a great episode for you already lined up. The New Year's already filled out. And then I'm going to come back probably February, just do a solo episode with that. So I might pop in January 3rd-ish just to see if you guys are interested in tuning in. But if not, just join in January 9th and we'll be back better than ever. And we're going to talk about Facebook ads and how do you run it on a very small budget, because I know all the conventional wisdom will tell you you need to spend at least $300 to $500 a day, blah, blah, blah. But we got somebody who's able to do it with just $50 a day and just $500 monthly budget. And he actually works for a company that spends lots of millions of dollars on Facebook too. So he's seen both sides and he's been able to work on his own side project for just $500 a month. We're going to break down that strategy for you in the beginning of the new year. All right, that's it. Jack, I know you're like ready to go to sleep. Thank you so much for staying up late in Vietnam. Thank you guys for joining. Merry Christmas, happy holidays, and I'll see you in the new year. Thanks, guys. Have a great time. That's it.
Thanks, everyone. Happy holidays.